Marjorie Taylor Greene's got a book out published by Don Jr.'s publishing company, but she hasn't reported any earnings from it.
You pathetic Democrats all over the country. You haven't canceled it at all. As a matter of fact, I'm sitting here driving in the car for hours and hours signing books. You want to know why I'm signing books? Because I'm selling books. I'm selling them. And you can get a copy of this book at mtgbook.com. This is the book that the left does not want you to read.
Now, it's unlikely that Greene's book hasn't sold a single copy. Perhaps her memoir was a flop, but even flops usually earn some kind of income. So why hasn't she reported any? Congresspeople are supposed to disclose their earnings and contract agreements, right? According to Greene's office, not necessarily. In a written statement to the Daily Beast, they said, quote, Congresswoman Greene's book agreement was reviewed and approved by the House Ethics Committee, and in 2023, there was no financial activity that required reporting. Now, that first part is all well and good, but that last part about how there was no financial activity in 2023 that required reporting, that's where things get a little bit murky. The House Ethics Committee typically requires anything over $200 in income or $1,000 worth of intellectual property to be disclosed. Again, it's entirely possible that Greene just did not sell enough books in 2023 to trigger the disclosure requirements. Her book came out in late November of that year, and Congresspeople aren't allowed to receive advances on royalties. And within just days of its release, the book fell all the way down the Amazon rankings, hitting the number 9,853 spot with a 1.8 star rating out of 5. In the women's biography ranking, she hit number 71, trailing far behind two different books written by Michelle Obama and memoirs from Paris Hilton and Julia Fox. And by the way, it wasn't just Democrats tanking her reviews. One reviewer gave her book a 1-star review saying, quote, I was a huge supporter of MTG and voted for her 2 times, but this book is garbage. Another reviewer pointed out that it was printed in Canada, which wasn't very America first of Marjorie. And another 1-star reviewer said that they asked to borrow the book from a neighbor who was about to throw the book in the trash. Boy, what a boring mistake, they said. The book was doing so badly that she even tried to promote it on the Jimmy Kimmel show. Kimmel, predictably, was disinclined to acquiesce to her request. I guess the GOP book buying machine also ran out of steam by the time Marjorie decided to write her memoir. But going back to the financial disclosures, according to Robert McGuire of the Citizens for Responsibility and Ethics Watchdog Group, quote, even if she hasn't received any royalty payments, she's required to report anticipated royalties in some way. The House Ethics Committee itself seems to be the source of confusion. So in this particular case, we could plausibly assume that Greene wasn't actually trying to do anything shady. When a similar flag was raised regarding Lauren Boebert's book royalties, her team confirmed and proved that they had received guidance from the Ethics Committee as to how much she needed to disclose. But that guidance went against the actual written rules of the committee. And if it turns out Greene made some disclosure missteps here, it wouldn't be her first time doing so. Last year, it was revealed that she spent more than $65,000 of campaign funds on a new fence for her home, according to the Federal Election Commission. She accounted for the fence as being for additional security for her residence, which technically is allowed. So again, she didn't do anything technically wrong, but it wasn't a good look, especially when you consider that the median annual household income in the district was less than what she spent on her security fence. Earlier this year, she was identified as being one of the members of Congress who saw the value of their stocks and shares portfolios increase the most in 2023. She denied personally trading stocks in 2023, but even if she had, again, nothing illegal technically happened. She also took out a PPP loan during the pandemic that was later forgiven.
It's outrageous to me that Republicans in Congress and state offices fought so hard against a program that would have helped millions of their own constituents. They had no problem handing trillion-dollar tax cuts to big corporations and the super wealthy. And many had no problems accepting millions of dollars in forgiven pandemic loans. Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene from Georgia had more than $180,000 forgiven. She represents more than 91,800 eligible borrowers who were turned down today.
Again, not technically illegal, but kind of gross. So why do these financial disclosures even matter? In a two-party system that has no term limits for congresspeople, we have a Congress that's full of career politicians. The longer they serve, the more difficult they become to vote out of office. And if and when they ever leave office, they've often managed to take a comparatively humble congressional salary and turn it into million-dollar net worths, sometimes within just a few years. So where's the money coming from? The sourcing for those funds becomes important when you're dealing with the nation's lawmakers. Those sources provide insights into the congressperson's dealings while they're in office, specifically any places where the congressperson might be beholden to a particular person or organization or cause. Accurate financial disclosures also help to illuminate places where the rules might be a little bit ambiguous, where things might need some additional clarification. In Marjorie Taylor Greene's case, she has been a light in a dark tunnel. The only problem is that now the same people who would be expected to make the appropriate adjustments or clarifications are the same people benefiting from all of the muck. All right, that's it for me. If you got anything out of this, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. Thanks.